Hey everyone, this is Clay from Blend 360 bringing you another Power BI quick tip. Today I want to show you how Power BI can work with Power Apps to consolidate the number of areas you make changes to your data. This is a great use case for when you need to make changes to your data and visualize it all in one place. So let's get started. Let's start by taking a look at the data set that we're going to use for this particular example. All right, in this data set, what we're looking at here is just a normal um, set of data that is just HR data. So we got things like employee name, employee ID, salary, their position, date of birth, hire date, all that kind of information that we hold in maybe some HR data sets. This particular data set is in a SharePoint drive or SharePoint folder, but you could have it pretty much anywhere that you needed it to be. So this is our starting point for what we're going to be looking at. Now, the first thing that we want to do, since we're going to integrate this into um, Power Apps and Power BI, we want to look at the Power Apps side of it. So if we jump in, if we're logged into Power Apps, this is kind of the idea that we're going to look for. Now, this is not a detailed process of how to use Power Apps, but it's really self-explanatory. And the great thing is Power BI Apps does a lot. Power Apps does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. It designs most of it based on your data. You can go in here and tweak some things, how it looks, the colors, the visuals, and even add on some extra stuff. But even out of the box, the tool that you're going to use in with it in Power BI is going to be really simple to navigate. So looking at the data, you can kind of see here's that same SharePoint list that we had just a minute ago that's called employees that is being brought into this Power App. And again, like I said, Power Apps builds 90% of this for you, and it goes into all the information that you need. If we wanted to, for example, preview this app, we can kind of see how this app works. Looking at this top employee, we see all the information, all the same stuff that's over here in this SharePoint drive. um, but we have it all here. And if we wanted to make changes to that, you could use that in the Power Apps to go in here and do that. The great thing, what we're going to do with this next step, though, is we're going to embed this into a Power BI report. So if we wanted to make changes to this person, we can do it right inside of Power BI and not have to be in another tool, whether it's Power Apps or in the SharePoint list. So let's look at that Power BI report that we have. So this is just a quick dashboard that I built for this data set, and it's just, again, some performance review summary metrics. A lot of the data set is built on when the employee had their last performance review. So we can see things about how many active employees we have, how many employees need a performance review, and how many, where how that all divides out by department, and we can look at salary information over here on the right, but also performance reviews by manager. And as you can see, here I am right here. I'm the only one in the company that has done all the performance reviews for their employees that report to them. So I'm doing a really good job. But before we kind of show you the details on how this works with Power Apps, I want to take a quick minute to show you how that pulls in. So on a blank page right here, if you go over here to your visuals tab, you've got this little icon for Power Apps in Power BI. So if we just open that up, it's going to give you some quick information about how to set this up. The great thing is we've already done a lot of the work that we needed to inside of Power Apps. So one of the things we have to do is we have to select the fields from your data that you would like to use in the app. So again, this Power BI report is connected to that same SharePoint list. So you can see these are the same columns, same people, same information that's all in this report. So what we want to do is go over to that and start dragging in what we need to put in here. So we're going to need things like employee ID, employee name, manager name, all those kind of things. And as we pull in those columns, you'll see the options to where we can choose an existing app or create another one. So we've already kind of created that app inside of Power Apps. So we just go here to choose app, look for the one that we're looking for. The one we're looking for is performance review update. We click add, and then all of a sudden, boom, there we go. We have all that information in there. So now, like on any good cooking show, we already have one of those things that's pre-built and pre-made. So we're going to flip over to this and see how this looks in real time. So this is another tab for that report where we can see all the information, all the employee details for everybody sorted by their managers and looking at all the different things that are there for these people. So let's take a look at, for example, how this works and what would be really important to this. Let's take somebody that we wanted to say just got their performance review completed. So let's look for inside the Power App, Tommy DeVito. So there's Tommy. We can look at Tommy and see all of his information. So let's say I am as his manager need to make updates to this information. We've done his employee evaluation and performance review, and we're going to go in here and make some edits. So let's say that Tommy got a promotion to senior BI developer. Let's go in here. We know. Let's say that he's going to have a manager change. Let's put him. Now he reports to me. His last performance review is not going to be. Not going to be in January 2019, but it's going to be in December of 2022. So today is the 27th. We got all that. So now we can save this and submit that into the data set. So we see in the Power App that all of that information has been updated. So we now let's go in and let's make a few others. Let's give old Tommy a raise. Tommy's been working hard this year. We're going to give him a raise. And I don't think, that last performance review didn't stick. So we're going to go back in and fix that for old Tommy. So we're picking today, which is the 27th. We hit OK. So now we save that. So now we see those changes. Tommy got a raise, got a promotion position. Then we changed his manager, and we now have his last performance review. So all that information has gone through the Power App, but we don't see that reflected over here. So let's refresh our data. Shouldn't take but just a quick second, maybe a few. So now let's go in here and find Tommy. So there's Tommy right there. So now Tommy reports to me. Tommy, we see that he got his senior BI developer and he got his raise. And we also see that his performance review is updated. So now all that information has been updated. Even if we go back over to the Power BI, the SharePoint list, and find Tommy in here. Should be right here. So here's Tommy. We see that same thing in the SharePoint. 125,000, senior BI developer. He now reports to me, and his last performance review is here. So that is another option. The other thing that you could do here is if you have, we cleared this out. Say we had a new hire and we wanted to add a new employee. We could put this in. All that information could be in here and done straight from the Power BI report. All of that information could be entered. All of it would flow through to both the SharePoint, and when the data was refreshed, it would show up in the Power BI report. You could even take this a step further and also incorporate something like Power Automate and have a flow that triggers when the data set has been updated or a new line item has been added to the SharePoint data list, that automatically triggers a refresh in the Power BI report. And then it automatically brings in that new information, and you wouldn't have to go in and refresh that. So that's another great option. But the cool thing about this, and the take home from this is wanted to show you, is there is this capability within Power BI to integrate other tools, whether it's Power Apps. Here's another one for Power Automate, where you can integrate things from the Microsoft ecosystem and put things in here to make reporting a lot better. So I hope you guys enjoy this quick tip. I hope you use it. If you find new and cool ways to use it, put those uses in the comments. I'm always looking for cool ways to see how people are using new things, especially the additional add-on features that come with Power BI, such as Power Apps and Power Automate. Like I said, hope you enjoy. I hope you guys really find this useful, and tune in for next time when we bring you another Power BI tip. Thanks.